Good morning, Fisayo.
Fisayo, your audio, you have to unmute if you can even, okay, maybe you'd
Hmm.
have to just log out and then come back in again so we can get the audio sorted. Thank you very much. All right, still, that's it, just in line to talk about the Internet of Things this morning because it falls into what Fisayo would helping us unpack this morning in terms of fiber optics and how it can help make internet broadband penetration even work better in Nigeria. So he's back. Let's see. Good morning, Fisayo.
Sometimes this is a reassurance that technology will never completely take all our jobs.
Good morning, Fisayo.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Welcome.
Perfect. Yeah.
So we are up for, it just seemed like this is a good test run for what's on the table for us this morning. And so let's get into what the Minister of the ICT and Digital Economy has been speaking about. That's talking about Tijani Bosun's been talking, saying that it might cost Nigeria as much as 2 billion US dollars in the next 4 years to properly get fiber optics across 95,000 kilometers in the country. So speak to us about this. Why does laying fiber optic cost so much?
Oh no, it's an expensive endeavor. It means that you have to talk about right of way to ensure that yes, we have to dig up the road, put the fiber cable, close the back because again we need the end point to get into people's houses, people's homes, right? So it is so essentially saying that you have to lay the cable across all major townships and cities across the country. So it's a very expensive endeavor. However, my challenge is that why do we need to do that? Right? It's not about whether there should be fiber optic cable across, but I'm wondering why do we need to do that across the country? Right, because the question here is about, okay, so for instance, the population density in Lagos is different from the population density in any other part of the country, right? So it makes sense to put fiber cable in Lagos because again, people are maybe it's the commercial nerve center of the country. That people can more people can afford to pay for it, and of course, per kilometer, you are seeing more houses. Again, let's think about it this way. Think about the people that live in, say, place like Ojodu and they work in, say, Victoria Island. To move from Ojodu to Victoria Island is that okay? So there is, Ojodu LCDA in Ojodu Bega. By the time you move across a bit, you get another local government called K2 Agboyi K2 something. Then by the time you move away from there, you enter Koshofe. So for you to move to work every day, you have passed through like 3, 4, 5 local government just from moving from, and that's what people do every day. But when I lived in Ogun State, I lived in Ijebu. Uh, all I needed to do was within Ijebu, right? So my point is that people that live in Ojotubega and go to VI every day will pass through 3, 4, 5 local governments to get, to work and back. So it means that laying fiber, and of course, as you're driving through, you're seeing houses everywhere, right? There's no portion of the journey that is just bush, you know as whatever it is. But again, if you live in other cities, if you want to move from Ibadan to Erua, for instance, you travel through local government, but again, at some point you just see no houses, nothing. But again, for you to lay fiber optic cable, you have to lay fiber optic cable through all of those empty villages, empty. So that's why I'm wondering why do we need to do that? You know, it is such an expensive endeavor that I don't have to, essentially undertake like that. So I guess that's what my position is.
So in
Other
essence, different
yeah,
parts of the countries do not have the same need for fiber optics. So it should be on a
exactly.
need basis. That's where you lay the
Mhm.
cables
Yep.
to maximize the money spent.
Yes, correct. So if you're thinking about your state, you can think about say, okay, what do you do with Ibadan? And once we've done Ibadan, you move on. There's no point, going to. It doesn't mean that those other places won't have internet, but they don't need broadband internet for that to work because the cost of delivering broadband internet to them far outweighs the benefit you will ever get, So again, it's a cost benefit analysis. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to lay fiber optic cable in my village. My MTN will work there. My Glo will work, So my point is that is sufficient for that. I can watch videos, I can take calls, I can do what I need. It's basic, good quality internet. I can do WhatsApp call. That is sufficient. I don't need a fiber cable in my grandparents' house that I only visit once in a year. This December, when I go, so I want to see my village people this December around Christmas and New Year.
Oh,
right.
Okay, Fisayo wouldn't wait for village people to come to him. He goes to see them. Okay, well, it's all good, Fisayo.
I'm not going to meet the village people.
Yes.
So that's my point. Yeah.
Help us pick up the next one here. Can the ICT ministry oversee the scaling down of a nationwide fiber optic network, or will it be better operated through the states? Let states come up with their various ministries and then begin to regulate it out on the need basis now.
Well, yeah. So I think that from the federal government level, there should be a national policy around how this things will go. But to a large extent, it's the state governments that have actually the power, to do some of these things. But when it comes to land and right of way, it's probably a lot of state government involvement in there. State government, also knows specifically the people you're targeting, right? To know specifically that these are the places that I feel that maybe I'm trying to build an ICT village again. State government have these useless ideas that they just come up with, every now and then to say, I'm building an ICT village or a tech hub, in one remote part of the state, right? And then they'll spend billions and billions of naira, and then nothing will show up after 4 years, right? So they're the ones that know exactly what they want to do and how they want to steal or spend the money, right? So again, sometimes it is important that they are the ones that then say, okay, this is how I'm going to execute on things like this, given the framework between the NCC and of course the federal government defining what the strategy for a national, broadband policy will look like. But of course, from an execution perspective, it is the state government that can decide, okay, this is the part of the states that can handle that.
Okay, you have also earlier on touched on the right of way and the charges and other things, miscellaneous costs. So I'd like you to speak on the states. What about matters of the right of ways? If you want them to come in to help in the regulation of where they know what they need and where it should be placed. So the right of way, that would be taken care of by them, or it will be much easier.
Yeah, exactly, because they're the ones that are leading the charge here. So they're the ones that give the right of way. So again, I've seen many state governments say that they want, broadband penetration in their state, and they crash the cost of the right of way in their state. Some state governments say, well, it's going to be free, so come and lay the cable. So again, it's a partnership between the private sector and of course the government to say, how do we deal with this question around right of way? So for instance, Lagos will say, well, if you want to lay cable, pay this much per kilometer, right? Because again, the cost, if I increase the cost of right of way, it means that you can still, after laying it, with the cost of laying it, you can still make money, because again, between VI and Ojoduberga is 7 local governments, so you'll be fine. But if you do the same in Ogun State, if I want to encourage broadband in, say, Ijebu Northeast, or Ijebu Ife, right? And I say per kilometer, I'm charging the same as Lagos. People are like, okay, Fisayo, I'm not a serious person. Please move on. Right. Again, those are the concerns. So, but if Ogun State government say, okay, I'm serious about this broadband penetration, I want, for some reason, I want, even the remote villages in my area, in the state, to have broadband internet. So I say, okay, no problem. This is what I'm going to do. For every kilometer of fiber you lay, I will pay you. Right. Again, that would force communities, okay, does this work? Does it make sense for us to do that? And of course, again, the government can then give incentive to ensure that, yes, that thing happens. But again, it's also a responsibility of the government every time to do that. So a question right of way is going to be handled by them, because again, they're the ones in charge of the right of way in their states, as it were.
So, Fisayo, help us speak to this in terms of we tried to get you on a while ago. You had to log out and then come back again for us to get your audio. So this will now take us to the question of the rating of internet penetration in the country. Has it improved in the last 5 years?
Oh, definitely has improved. It has improved greatly.
You hear the quality of his laughter now.
Mm.
Good. Don't worry.
Right.
It's an in-house joke. Don't go on.
Oh, internet penetration, quality of internet has improved greatly. I remember each time I go, travel home, maybe, again to the village, there is a spot that's where you can get, you can get mobile network almost
That
everywhere, but
mango
there's a
tree.
spot. Yeah, there's a spot where you get, internet services, right? Or around that spot. So again, if you need internet services, you just quickly go there and then, do what you want to do. Once you leave, it means that your internet service becomes very fuzzy at some point. But today, I can stay in my father's house and then have a Zoom meeting and I'll be fine, right? To a large extent. So again, penetration has improved greatly or the quality of penetration has improved greatly over the last couple of years, right? Again, it's a testament to say the the competition between essentially mobile network operators. They're the ones driving that. Again, this is not because there's some fiber cable laid anywhere. It's just saying that, okay, MNOs are saying that, well, I want to deploy 4G technology, across the state. I want to deploy 3.5G, 3. Any G that I'm comfortable with across, different places. So again, and what you require for a decent video call or for a decent WhatsApp call or for a decent, say Zoom meeting or Google Meet meeting, is you don't even need 4G, top notch 4G to get that done. Maybe 3G is fine. Maybe sometimes 2G plus might be okay, right? For you to have those decent WhatsApp conversations. So again, it's about MNOs saying that this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do that. And of course, I'm going to improve the quality of data services. So because I know that data is the next frontier for growth, because again, voice has plateaued, text actually declining, but from you. So it's more data. It's WhatsApp chat. It's video calls. It is Zoom meetings that is driving consumption now for tech. Again, I remember back in the days when when I used to, maybe there's a problem with Rotus, we couldn't get to the studio. We have a phone line that Rotus will call into, because I remember when I had to physically come to the studio, that is a phone line that we use. Right now, we're not using phone lines again. We're using Zoom right here. So again, it's a data conversation rather than mobile phones or text messages. So again, that's what the thing. So MNOs are saying that this is where the new frontier is, and I'm spending and investing heavily in that space.
Okay, so I would the in-house one there on Roches, you had to throw a jab at him this morning, but then let's leave that. He'll be here for you next week. But let's get on to just in concluding now. Google released Gemini this weekend, so just give us a brief summary of what it is all about.
So Gemini is like an human look-alike AI that can multitask, that can act like human, right? Again, I don't know why they're doing that, what they want to achieve. But again, after they did a demo of that to a few reporters, it's able to say organize thoughts. It's able to organize actions. Okay, this is what I'm going to do first. This is what I'm going to do next. Right. Again, it's AI revolution. As it were. However, someone says that, okay, AI is getting mainstream, but so the person like, okay, well, AI is a threat. Then I remember that, yes, well, most of this AI revolution, they still use batteries. So I'll just unplug it and that'll be fine. Right. So again, I'm not particularly worried. All I need to do is to get to the battery to say, unplug this thing.
That's it.
And then we'll all be fine, I guess.
Thank you so much. And so let's pick up messages now. Gbenga Kamu's got this one here for us. It says, the same fiber optics that had been laid and ripped out in the name of road construction in some parts of Lagos. Gbenga Kamu's thoughts there over and over again. So how do we solve this? Tayo with a message here. Tayo, this topic, Rotus will definitely come and look up to it. It's financials. So that's relating to non-deposit financial institutions, fintech and all that. Rotus is working on that, so definitely you'll be sure we've got you covered here. Then we've got Yinka Bolu. Fisayo is right. However, I'm sure Bosun had done the economics and must have considered that. Dude is smart, bro. But we got to put this out there. Fisayo is an elitist. Fisayo, that's what they say you are. Fisayo, I hope you know Ogun State is not as backward as you're sounding. And now on this right of way issue, why don't the folks digging and laying these cables ever fix the road they dig up? If it needs to be made a law going forward. So we had they met in a WhatsApp group and then they put this up here. So that's the size of the show this morning. Fisayo, Durojaiye, thank you so much for your time as always.
Thank you for having me. By the way, I'm from Ogun State, so I don't think we said it backward, but there's
You
no
made
way.
There's
no
a good
way
pitch for the stage.
population density of Ogun State is going to be compared to Lagos in any way, in any round. Not even the most populated part of Ogun State, Abeokuta.
All right.
Density.
Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.